Do you ever wonder why you keep dying in these situations? If you're anything like how I was, you're probably aim training every day. But the problem isn't your aim, it's your crosshair placement. A common misconception in Counter-Strike is that you need insane aim to play at a high level. Now, while that's true, an even more important skill you could be practicing is your crosshair placement. But don't take my word for it, listen to what Elige has to say.
What are the things to focus on to get better? What's the best way to do that?
Well, I'd say from like a theoretical standpoint, I would say crosshair placement is the most important thing, like bar none. Like crosshair placement and movement, I think is going to set you apart more than anything else.
In this video, I'm going to share the training guide that I used to help me improve my crosshair placement from level 3 to level 10 in just 6 months. And if you found my advice helpful, be sure to leave a like and share your thoughts in the comment section. The feedback you provide me makes it easier for me to make better content for you in the future. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Let's get into it.
Dude, this guy is insane. He just one-taps me, cat, every time.
Pre-fire maps can be very useful for developing crosshair placement. Not only do they teach you where to place your crosshair, but they also provide insight on some common and not so common angles CTs like to play. If you want to find out where you can start using these maps, you can check out either refrag.gg or prac.com. Both of these sites provide servers where you can start working on your crosshair placement. However, if using pre-fire maps is the only method that you use to improve your crosshair placement, you may be doing a disservice to yourself. The reason why this is because you're only playing from the T's perspective. Along with this, regardless of the server that you're playing on, the bots can't be in every position that the CTs can hold. Now, what can happen over time, which is something that I've experienced myself, is that you begin to only clear angles that you've memorized. Now, what happens in a real game is enemies are going to be holding a variety of different angles, and the higher you climb the ladder, the more creative your opponents are going to become. The best way to approach these maps is to clear every angle you know enemies can be holding, regardless if the server you're playing on has a bot there or not. Along with this, it's important to not overdo it. There are other ways you can improve this skill. Before we talk about that, a quick word from our sponsor, SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a fully automated CS2 trading site. SkinsMonkey provides an instant way to get new skins. Along with that, they have a 24/7 live chat support, so if you run into any problems, they'll be right there to help you. If you're interested in finding a specific skin, you can use their search tool. Better yet, if you're not sure what skin you're looking for, you can use their filter tool to find exactly what you're looking for. If you use my promo code RIDEORDIE, you can earn up to $5 for free. Trade up $100 to make the most of it. Now, if you don't want to trade your skins but you'd rather buy, SkinsMonkey is now offering a 30% deposit bonus. And if you use my promo code RIDEORDIE, you'll receive an additional 5%. Remember, use code RIDEORDIE to get up to $5 for free and claim your 35% deposit bonus. Thank you, SkinsMonkey, for sponsoring this video. This may sound odd at first, but it was really helpful for me and was one of the main reasons why my crosshair placement improved at the rate that it did. What you want to do is start a private match in practice mode, and from there, go through the entire map focusing on your crosshair placement. Even though there are no enemies to be found anywhere, what we're looking to do is isolate all the areas in the map where you have poor crosshair placement. You'll be absolutely blown away with how off you may be at times. What this does, similar to pre-fire maps, develops your understanding of Counter-Strike's virtual object permanence. But instead of being locked in this box that pre-fire maps put you in, you can find areas where you're lacking and begin to work on perfecting your crosshair. I know this can be quite boring and doesn't really give the same satisfaction as killing bots does, but I promise you, if you practice this on each map, you'll be surprised with how many more kills you're going to get in-game and just how fast your crosshair placement will improve. So we've practiced outside of game doing pre-fire maps, and we've loaded into an offline game where we can work on our crosshair placement. Now it's time to implement these improvements in-game. The fastest way to improve crosshair placement alone is to focus on it consciously during our matches. Even though this will take away a little bit of that mental focus from other aspects of the game, this is indeed the fastest way to improve at crosshair placement. At first, you might lose more games than you're winning, but in the long run, this will help your crosshair placement tremendously. Once we've developed better crosshair habits, we can shift our focus on other aspects of the game later down the road. How I started to remind myself of my crosshair placement was at the start of every round during the buy phase, I would simply remind myself to focus on my crosshair and not fall into these lull states where I would forget entirely about where my crosshair is and what I'm doing. During your journey, you'll more than likely experience the same things I did, where I would simply forget the importance of my crosshair and put myself in undesirable situations. This would often result in me performing poorly or me not having any impact on the game. Sometimes in Counter-Strike, the difference between winning a gunfight and losing one is the fraction of a second it takes for you to move your crosshair from whatever it is to your opponent. After just a few games of conscious attention to your crosshair, you'll see just how much you'll improve. And like I said earlier, once you spend several games focusing on this, it will become more second nature and you can start shifting your focus on other things during your match. But it's also important to realize that your crosshair placement can always improve. This is regardless of your skill level. Even playing at level 10, this is one of the main things I'm always focused on improving. The best way to keep tabs on your improvement is to review your games. And if you're unsure how to do so, whether you're playing on Premier, Matchmaking, or Faceit, I made a video recently on how to do so. Link to that will be in the description. Once you have your review pulled up, the only thing we're here to watch is your crosshair placement. Analyze where your crosshair is and start to identify weak spots on the map you're watching. Once you've done that, the easiest way to isolate this problem is to either load up an offline practice server or to start a pre-fire map depending on the nature of the situation. A pattern that you'll notice is that the easiest kills you're getting are the ones where your crosshair is already pointing at the enemy. Another great benefit to watching these replays is how humbling they are. When I came around to watching my first demo review, I was under the impression that I had perfect crosshair placement and I wouldn't need to spend time working on this. Quickly I realized just how wrong I was. This was especially true when I started to compare and contrast my VODs from the pros. Watching replays from pro players is a great way to start visualizing where your crosshair should be. There are a ton of benefits to watching high elo streamers and pro players, but in terms of mastering crosshair placement, the best way to leverage these replays is to simply try and replicate what you're watching. My advice is to find a few pro players that have similar style of play that you enjoy and stick to watching their VODs. What this will do is make it easier for you to notice patterns and habits in their play that you can potentially replicate in your own games. It's important that when you're watching these demos that you're actively engaging with what you're seeing. What I do when I watch these demos is sometimes I'll pause and think about what I would do in certain situations. Along with this, what you can do is compare and contrast where you're putting your crosshair and exactly where the pros are putting theirs. After some time of analyzing their gameplay, not only will you see a drastic improvement in your own crosshair placement, but also an overall improvement of yourself as a player. But this will only happen if you're studying them, not watching them purely for enjoyment. I've said it before in other videos, but it's important to reiterate again, improving does not happen overnight. You shouldn't expect to play one pre-fire map in Mirage and to have perfect crosshair placement after that. It just won't work like that. Improving happens over the course of several weeks, months, and even years. The real decider whether you're going to improve or not will be in your consistency and your intensity in practice. That doesn't just go for crosshair placement, but that goes for overall as yourself as a player. Similar to anything else in life, what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. So maybe follow the things that I told you or be creative and find other ways that you can improve not only in crosshair placement, but as a player. If you made it this far, I want to personally thank you for watching the entire video. I also want to thank all the Ride or Die members. Special shout out to Trade ICS, Tony, Link CS, Wishy, Sparta, Wilson CS2, Demi, Charlie, Scarface, Cody, Monty, Uncle Drew, Lonely, Small Devin, Chill, and Vex. You guys give me a ton of motivation to not only keep making content, but keep working on the quality of the videos that I put out. So thank you. Also, if you're looking for a new Discord to join, you should check out the Ride or Die Discord. We host giveaways several times a month, play custom 10-mans, and host a community of like-minded CS players looking to improve. But that's all I got. That's it. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with my content, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. Thanks for watching.